Me? Have feedback? There was the music. Could you hear the music? Oh.
Is it better now? Did I fix it? No. Oh, no. Darn it. Okay, hold on.
Now we good? But I'm not as. Oh, man. We'll take a win. A small win. Okay, alright, good. We're getting there. Yeah.
Netflix. I believe it was on Netflix, but it could have been one of the other shows. It's called Painkiller. And what it had to do with the Purdue Pharmacy and the Purdue family, the makers of OxyContin, which of course several years ago was a opioid plague upon the land.
Yeah.
All right. So billions of dollars were made, and it's about a 3, 4, even a 5-part show. I recommend it because it's good.
So is it a show or a documentary?
Both. No, it's a show,
Okay.
but it's about 4 or 5 episodes.
Okay.
It's really pretty good. I don't want to ruin it for those who may want to watch it.
It's entertainment though. It's not.
Oh, sure. No, it's not World War II or a Civil War or some other,
it's not like a documentary.
Climb Mount Everest documentary. It's a show.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But it's about the makers of OxyContin, the marketing, the young girls, the this, the that. Again, it's pretty good.
All right.
But so and then the Purdue's ultimately the house of cards collapsed, and lawsuits started to mount from individuals and states,
Nice.
themselves. And as most of these, or a lot of these mass tort lawsuits do, the companies enter into bankruptcy in order to avoid filing bankruptcy and or paying huge amounts of money.
All right.
All right, so that's what happened here. So Purdue Pharma goes into bankruptcy. The bankruptcy court does what it does, and at some point the bankruptcy court says, okay, well, we're going to reach a settlement for Purdue Pharma, and we're going to give not we, but Purdue Pharma, its insurance companies and so forth, is going to pay $6 billion as a settlement.
Okay.
All right, so far so good. Purdue Pharma is going to pay money. Insurance companies are going to pay money. Theoretically, states who had to fund, hospitalizations and all kinds of things associated with the epidemic are going to get some kind of compensation and so forth. All right. Now the problem is the Justice Department, which is the U.S. trustee program, just a watchdog within the Justice Department that says, wait a minute, something here doesn't seem right in the Purdue Pharma bankruptcy.
Okay.
And you're asking, well, I wonder what that is. Because not only was a significant amount of money going to be paid out, the Purdue Pharma family, which are the Sacklers, that's the name of the family that started the company, Sackler. They had to give up their ownership and their, the president, CEO, board of directors. They had to basically divest themselves from the company, sell it, get rid of it. All right. Seems like good so far. But what did the Justice Department have with that agreement? One might ask.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I thank you, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
These agreements oftentimes have a clause or part of the agreement is the in this case the Sackler family. They would be shielded from lawsuits against them individually.
Okay.
Okay, and so what that would mean is, well, it's basically called a non-consensual third-party release they would get, meaning Jason, who was had a son or daughter who died of OxyContin, you would be part of the class action lawsuit against Purdue Pharma, and you would get whatever damages you could get out of that.
Sure.
But you could not sue the Sackler family members individually. They were protected by this non-consensual third-party release.
Isn't that normal, or is that not?
Well, it is standard operating procedure. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But my guess is the trustee and the United States Supreme Court, which agreed to hear the argument about whether or not that should be allowed, i.e. the billionaires of, i.e. the Sackler family, whatever monies they have, get to keep the money they made in doing what was done,
the people,
and be shielded from bankruptcy. So it's almost like I get to make all the money, I get to become a billionaire, and then when shiz with a Z hits the fan, I'm out. I keep my money, and
the company can file
and you got to sue the company and not me. Even though if you watch the show, it appears they were the money makers, the president, CEO, they were making decisions. And so I believe the Supreme Court, who took that case up, is going to probably rule, this is my opinion, or else why would they take it up in the first place? Meaning, why would they agree to hear the argument from the trustee in bankruptcy, which they never do. You never hear the Supreme Court of Florida, the Supreme Court of the United States taking a bankruptcy case. Very rarely.
Unless it's that massive, I guess.
Unless they're going to say, no. You can't.
Right.
You can't do what you did allegedly, make billions of dollars allegedly, and then we'll give up the company, the insurance companies, the company will pay, and we're going to walk away with a shiz with a Z ton of money.
Yeah.
And not have to file bankruptcy. They don't have to file bankruptcy. So part of the agreement is we get out of this more or less scot-free. Yeah, we lose our company, but we made billions and billions and billions of dollars on OxyContin, and now we get to walk away and live happily ever after. The Supreme Court might say, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. So watch the show Painkiller. It's good, and then that way when you see the news coming in the future, or read it in the paper, or see it online that says, the Sackler family loses, or so forth and so on, you'll know what they're talking about.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, pretty interesting, pretty boring, pretty interesting. But if you watch the show, then you'll see
interesting.
You'll see what I'm talking about and why they may not let them do what they're trying to do.
It's boring, but at the same time, it's interesting because it's the stuff that happens behind the scenes that impacts everyone. Right?
That's why I'm here.
The whole rules for me, not for thee concept is on the line with some of this stuff.
Exactly.
It's tedious and it's boring, but at the same time, it's so interesting because it's so important. Like it gets in the nitty gritty of how things.
When I agree with you, it's just I dare to say it's just how the other half, actually 1/10 of 1/1,000,000th of 1%, escape consequences of their actions.
Sure. Right.
So anyway, all right. Well, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. If you want to watch, I guarantee it's a good show. I got to be honest. I knew about OxyContin. I knew about the plague. I learned a lot about how that worked and what they were doing. It was interesting. You'll like it.
Yeah, I bet you had a different perspective watching it. That's
so cool. Moving on to now this is a PSA, public service announcement.
Yes.
And it has to do with baseball. A dear friend of mine, of course. And put up the picture, Jason, and we're going to have a little fun here for the ending of the show.
All right, cool. It's up.
All right, now this is the picture I believe I sent you. Does it show the umpire at the end of the clay on the first base line?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then the pitcher's released the ball and it's about halfway to home.
That's correct.
Okay, so people, I can't see it, but I sent Jason the picture. Now, you see the first base line from the batter to the that umpire, there's the foul line. Everyone knows what the foul line is, right?
Correct. It's the line that draws straight from home to the box. I mean,
Right. On the left side, the fair
bag.
ball. Yeah, on the left side's a fair ball. If you hit on the right side, it's foul ball.
Correct.
All right. Now, do you see that other line that's literally 45 feet, which is the bases are 90 feet. So it's 45 feet from home plate and it stretches to first base. Do you see that line?
I do, yeah.
Okay. That is called the running lane first base line. And do you know what that is there for? It's not because you don't see one on the third base line. You see it on the first base.
Yeah, there's not one on the third base line. I know from playing baseball that when you round third, you're like going so much faster that your berth is a bit wider.
Gotcha.
And going to first base, you don't usually give that berth until you're headed to second. So I don't think it's for that. But I would have thought if you hadn't called it the running lane, whatever that is, I would have thought that it's how far up the first baseman is allowed to play, perhaps in a bunting situation.
Fair enough.
Something like that.
Well, I got that's funny. I got news for you. As you all know, my brother broke his leg about 6 weeks ago. He was nowhere near 45 feet. It would have snapped his leg off. So that's good, but no player would ever get anywhere near 45 feet from home plate.
What's your reaction speed?
Because quite honestly, you may die. Yeah. But all right, so no, that's not it either.
Okay,
if the player wants to come and stand in the clay box right in front of the batter, they can. So there's no rule about how close you can get.
Interesting. All right.
Okay.
So it's not that. All right. Well, it's definitely probably not for the umpire either then.
Nope. Okay. Well, let's move on. I don't want to make this.
Maybe the batter gets out of bounds.
Well, here's the deal. So you let's say you bunt the ball or you swing at the ball and it doesn't go very far, and either the pitcher or the catcher picks it up, right?
So I'm a pitcher that's batting, is what you're saying.
No. You're the pitcher. You stop talking. Okay? You stop talking and I'll explain this. Yeah. So either the pitcher or the catcher picks the ball up in front of home plate and he's going to throw it to the first baseman.
Yeah.
All right. If the runner at 45 feet is not in that box, i.e. between the foul line and that base running line, if he's not in there and he gets hit by the ball, he's out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Just tag him with it? Boop.
Nope. Yeah. So the catcher comes out. The first baseman's, inside the base waiting for the ball, but the runner's blocking it. He's in the grass. Look at the picture. The runner's in the grass on the left side of the foul line, and the ball hits him. He's out.
No way.
Let's just say, hey, let's continue. In Major League Baseball and in college, you can run to first on the third strike if the catcher drops the ball, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let's just say the ball scoots away to the right side on the right side of the grass on the other side of the base. And the catcher goes to throw the ball to first, and the batter's in the grass on the right side of the foul line. And the ball hits him. He's out.
Interesting.
So basically,
if he's not in that box.
Right. And when you watch games from now on, heck, I'd bet a great majority of the runners are not in that box. Ooh. Let's say the pitcher goes to field the ball halfway or up the line.
Yep.
He's right there to the left of the foul line in the grass, and the runner hits him. Runner's out. Interference. You got to be in the box.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that's what the box is for. Now you know.
Coming from third to home.
Basically,
interesting.
Basically, you have to be in that box about halfway down, and if you're not, and you get hit by the ball, and there's some variations, but basically hit by the ball that's bunted or a swinging bunt, so to speak, and they hit you with that ball, you're out.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. I did not know that. Hey, can we pull up some video game world tournaments, and I can school you on some of those?
Yeah, well, that's for a later date.
Yeah, sure.
And finally, for those,
Well,
if you
that's
want to see
cool though. That's cool.
if you want to see something funny, last night during the Marlins game, there's a ball hit down that first base line. It's fair,
Yeah.
clearly fair, wasn't even close. Don't ask me why, but the ball boy, which looks like about a 30-year-old man, by the way, but the ball boy fields the ball. It's a fair ball. Bases, men are running around the bases, and he throws it into the crowd.
No.
Yes. So when we're done here, and all you people in TV land, go to Miami Marlins Thursday night. Ball boy throws ball in the crowd, and it's pretty. Well, it's not funny because
I guess
it's embarrassing to him. But you know what's funny? I believe one of the players after the fact came over and almost like, "Don't worry about it, man. No big deal." Shiz with a Z happens. But I got news for you.
Yeah.
If there was a hole to climb in, he wanted to climb in.
He want to find it. Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Just goes to show you, it can happen to the best of them.
Oh, I'm embarrassed for him. I think my face is.
Yeah, I felt bad.
Oh,
I felt bad because dude, the rest of your
autopilot. You have one of those days where you're on autopilot and you're just doing what you've done.
Dude, the rest of your life, you don't live that.
Yes. Oh wait, you're that guy. At least it didn't happen during like a World Series game or something.
No. Good point. And the game was a blowout, so it didn't really matter either.
Didn't affect anything.
But think about if it was 1-0 and they lose.
Bro.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, that's this was a 20-minute. That's good. It's short.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know what else is going on in the world. Armageddon. Stuff like that. No big deal.
Weather's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are moved into college, so college is happening. It's started. I was talking to a friend of mine who's having some drama with his daughter and their dorm. All the dorm kids and stuff, and I'm sure it's crazy home. Yeah, it's crazy out there.
Well, yeah, it is. Oh well, it's crazy world. All right, so that's it. I don't have anything else. I don't know if you've read my book, which is co-authored by Jason's wife, Crystal Crawford. I think when I put this on,
because you have the filter on. Yeah,
I got the filter on. Oh, now I turned me off. Holy crap! I don't know what I'm doing over here. Blur my background. No, don't do that. Filter. Yeah. Maybe I go none. Oh, there's the book.
Hey.
So anyway, it's The Other Side of the Law. You can get it on Amazon. A few people I've talked to, have read it. And, I think it's enjoyable. And once again, the beauty of the book is, I call it a bathroom book. It's 2 or 3 pages maximum, and then it's just a new story. So it's not like these big, not big, but paragraphs where you got to stay up, because you want to get to the end of the paragraph. You read 2 or 3 pages, a couple of stories, you put it down if you want to, and you pick it up. If
you're having company over, you might want to have something like that.
Well, I mean, if you're on taking a plane flight or a long car ride, it might take you an hour and a half. Take you an hour and a half to read. I think it's enjoyable. But anyway, it's called The Other Side of the Law. You got to, I think, put in Paul Reed, because there are a lot of other side of the laws that I wasn't aware of when I chose the title. But hey, it is what it is. That's all I got. It's
all right, man.
It was raining earlier, and the reason being is because I had my car washed, and if I have my car washed, it's going to rain. But now it looks like a beautiful rest of the day. Blue skies, and partly cloudy, and so
it was thundering and everything.
Oh yeah, it was a storm. Millie is around somewhere, I don't know. So Jason, take us out. Everybody, God bless. Go to church on Sunday, and we'll see you next Friday.